Hello, and welcome to Recruiting for Hiring Managers, a management training series that will help you in understanding your role as a hiring manager and the steps it takes to hire a new employee at Florida Polytechnic University. After a brief introduction, I'll give you an overview of the process, the roles of the hiring manager and recruiter, and we'll take a look at the job requisition, learn the difference between position and job management, creating positions in Workday, and the approval process, the job application process and stages for external candidates, viewing the candidate pipeline and recruiting workflow, interviewing candidates and veterans' preference, pre-employment assessments, conducting reference checks, and the final steps of the recruitment before your hire is completed and your employee begins onboarding. Since Workday went live, the recruitment team has screened over 12,000 applications from 7,000 candidates residing in over 20 countries. Over 500 job requisitions have had active recruitments, and we've hired 122 new employees since January 2018. We also average about 11 phone calls from candidates per day and assist with any candidate walk-ins that would want to discuss the status of their application or would like assistance with resume writing and interview skills. So, you know that you have a position that you need to fill because it's either new or it's a vacant position. But what's the first step that you take to start your recruitment? The first steps are to decide whether or not this position is brand new or you're replacing someone. The hiring manager will have initial discussions with classification and compensation in HR prior to posting to discuss the job description and pay grades. Next are the Workday steps. After you have your position description, if applicable, a position needs to be created. We'll go over viewing your job requisition in Workday, what your recruitment will look like, and hiring your new employee. The last steps will discuss our HR's role in posting your job requisition to external job board sites, pre-screening candidates, the interview process, reference checks completed by the hiring manager, and HR's role in conducting background checks, verification of education, I-9 compliance forms, and scheduling new hire orientation. Let's talk about the role of a hiring manager. A hiring manager is responsible for approving positions. A hiring manager can also create a position, assign an organization, and request compensation when creating a position. The hiring manager is responsible for reviewing, verifying, and approving position information if initiated by the recruiter. This may also include interviewing candidates, conducting reference checks, assigning costing allocations, and approving the hire. So what's the role of the recruiter? A recruiter is responsible for staffing tasks such as creating a position, if needed, creating and managing a job requisition, and processing a candidate through the application process and recruitment in Workday. They are responsible for making sure that the position, if needed, and the job requisition are being created, are correct and accurate. They will also be assigning the supervisory organization when creating a position. The recruiter is also responsible for posting job requisitions to the career sites, dispositioning candidates after selection, and advancing candidates through to the hire stage. Now that you're aware of your role in Workday recruiting, how do you see this information in Workday? On the job requisitions homepage, you'll see your role and your picture on the top of the page, and the recruiter who will be assisting you with your recruitment directly below your picture. What is the process to create a job requisition? Prior to creating a job requisition for a position must have been created impacting your budget and reporting. When creating a job requisition for a job management supervisory organization, a position does not have to be created because they do not support positions. A job requisition is required to be created to recruit into any job at Florida Polytechnic University. Once the job requisition has gone through all the approval steps, your assigned recruiter will post the requisition to the career site. When do you need to create a position? If recruiting into a position, the position must be created prior to creating the job requisition. A position should be created only if a new position is available to be filled for a position management supervisory organization. If a position already exists and you are just replacing an employee who is no longer in that position, you do not have to create a new position. The unfilled position will be available for posting and recruiting. Let's talk a little bit about position management. Position management supervisory organizations harbor positions. These organizations include regular positions for staff and faculty, both full-time and part-time. A position refers to full-time and part-time staff, AMP, SP, or OPS, or faculty positions. A requisition is needed to fill a job or position. This goes for both position management and job management supervisory organizations. To create a position, you must be a hiring manager or recruiter. Your assigned recruiter will create your job requisition. Job management supervisory organizations do not have positions. However, a job requisition is required for a job management position. On the other hand, is a supervisory organization that does not have a position within the organization, they only require a requisition. Types of jobs which are part of a job management supervisory organization are students, both hourly and one-time payments. In order to view your job requisitions from the hiring worklet, click on My Open Job Requisitions and click OK to view a list of your open job requisitions. All right, now that you have your job description and hiring salary amount, let's create your position for posting. From the search field, access the Create Position task. Select the supervisory organization from the prompt icon for which you are creating a position. Please make sure that you verify that you are not choosing the organization that is designated a job management supervisory organization. If you are a hiring manager or of a job management supervisory organization, it may default to that job management supervisory organization. Next, enter the reason for this position in the Position Request Reason field. Then enter the job posting title for the position. Select the number of positions that are available in your budget for this job. Please remember that all fields with an asterisk are required. Now, both the availability date and the earliest hire date should be the day that you are creating this position in Workday. Complete the Hiring Restrictions tab with all the information that will be posted and required for this position. Enter the job description summary, job description, location, time type, worker type, and worker subtype. You can skip the critical job and difficulty to fill fields. In the comments box, let your recruiter know how many days your position should be posted. Remember, all staff positions must be posted for a minimum of 7 days. Please be aware that this content is what will be posted on the internal and external career sites. Once you have submitted the Create Position task, you will receive an inbox notification to assign a costing allocation. This action will require you to assign a cost center to this position. This approval will be sent to the recruiter for the position approval, as well as the compensation partner. Other approvals may be necessary depending on the position being created. Each approver will need to approve the Create Position action from their inbox. Your position has now been created. Human Resources will post this job requisition to the following external career sites, in addition to the Florida Poly career site. No fee will be charged to the departments for posting on the following sites: Higher Ed Jobs, Chronicle of Higher Education, and InsideHigherEd.com. Sweep sites such as Academic Keys, Indeed, Glassdoor, Jobs Galore, and others are job board sites that sweep our Florida Poly career site for positions that we post and post them onto their sites at no cost. Please know that a hiring manager can continue to post directly on the job board of their choice outside of these sites. They will also be responsible for all fees charged by those sites. So, approximately how long does it take for a business process, like creating a position, to be approved? Approvals of Workday are multi-step processes. Each approval is either sequential with each step contingent upon completion of the previous one, or parallel with multiple steps occurring simultaneously. Some approvals may take longer than others because of additional reviews, further necessary research, and checking for completeness and accuracy. Now that your job requisition has been posted, it's time for candidates to apply. Candidates must complete a job application in order to be considered for a position. Candidates can submit the application through the Careers portal by creating a candidate home account. When candidates begin to apply to the job requisition, they will appear in the candidate pipeline for the recruiter to review and screen. After they have been screened, the hiring manager will view candidates that have met the minimum qualifications by clicking on the screen stage of the candidate pipeline. The hiring manager will then choose a minimum of 3 to 5 candidates to be interviewed. Reference checks will be conducted on the final candidates before an offer is made. HR will then conduct the background check and advance the candidate to the ready for hire stage. Advancing and declining candidates are executed at specific points during the job application process. A recruiter is responsible for moving a candidate forward in the process or declining them for various reasons. Workday automatically notifies candidates when they have successfully applied to a position and when their application has been screened by the recruiter and when they are no longer eligible for the position they applied to. The hiring manager will need to call or email the candidate to schedule an interview time or request additional information. Let's talk about assigning interviewers in Workday. Once a candidate has been screened for a position, the hiring manager will be prompted to schedule an interview. From the inbox, select the interview action to schedule interview team. Then, click the plus icon to add interviewers or the minus icon to remove anyone from the list of interviewers. Optionally, you can select an interview date. Enter additional information for the interviewers in the comment for interview team field. Once you click submit, the interviewers will receive an action in their inbox to rate and provide comments on the candidate. If you are involved in the interview process, you will receive an action in your Workday inbox when you are selected to interview a candidate. Scheduling and details regarding the interview process are specific to your department procedures. Workday allows the hiring manager to schedule single or multiple interviews. When the hiring manager schedules the interview, you will receive in your inbox an action rate interview. Once you have completed the interview, you will need to follow these steps to submit your interview results in Workday. From your inbox, under the Actions tab, select the interview task you have been assigned. Use the rating field to select feedback. Then use the comment field to directly enter the rating selection to add interview feedback. Comments should be objective, detailed, factual, and concise. Avoid gratuitous comments unrelated to the candidate's experience and qualifications for this position. Finally, click Submit to send your results to the hiring manager. Now, let's talk about veterans' preference in recruitments. Florida Statute Chapter 295, Section 7 states that a candidate who qualifies for a veteran's employment preference is entitled to a preference in the interview process over other candidates for the same position who do not have a greater qualification. However, the Veterans Preference Statute does not guarantee the veteran a job. Positions at Florida Polytechnic University are filled with the best qualified candidate as determined by the hiring manager. Also, please note that all offers of employment are tentative and based upon successful completion of a background check. As such, all candidates who qualify for Veterans Preference and are extended a job offer will be required to provide a copy of his or her DD-214 or equivalent certification from the Department of Veterans Affairs as part of the background check. Now that your interviews have completed, you've narrowed your search down to your final candidates. The Chrysalis Corporation will conduct a pre-employment assessment on the final candidates for all salary and exempt staff positions. Assessments are limited to 3 per job posting. Faculty, students, and other personnel positions are excluded from the pre-employment assessment process. The cost per candidate assessed is $550, and the hiring department is responsible for the assessment cost. The hiring manager will need to consult with the division's vice president for financial arrangements. When a candidate is advanced to the reference check stage, the hiring manager receives a reference check questionnaire in their inbox to complete a minimum of 2 reference checks. When conducting a reference check, always make sure you introduce yourself and state the purpose of your call. Confirm that it is a convenient time to talk. Briefly describe the position for which the applicant has applied. Confirm the relationship between the person giving the reference and the candidate. Verify basic duties such as job title, duties, salary, and dates of employment. Be consistent. Ask the same questions about all candidates and weigh the information equally. What disqualifies one should be the basis for disqualifying any others. The final steps of the recruitment are the verbal offer where the start date and hiring dollar amount are confirmed. HR preparing the offer letter and collecting the necessary signatures, the background check and verification of education that the candidate stated on their application, HR collecting all interview notes and reference checks forms to close out the job requisition, HR advancing the final candidate to the ready for hire stage in the candidate pipeline, and your new employees onboarding and new hire orientation. After a new employee's hire has completed in the system, an email will be sent to them with information on how to activate their NetID. An email will also be sent to the hiring manager for them to fill out an equipment request form, letting IT know what technology your new employee needs, such as a phone, monitors, laptop, or other equipment. Please be aware that IT needs approximately 4 days to complete this request, as long as they have the equipment in stock. HR will need to collect personal and contact information from the new employee prior to their actual start date. Legal identification documents that are not expired, their Form I-9 and payroll information must be completed as well. HR will have the new employee successfully complete all new hire compliance forms and continue to assist your new employee with required workday processes. HR will then schedule your new employee's new hire orientation, where we will discuss policies and procedures, benefits, FRS and workman's comp, and how to give them training on how to enter and certify their time in Workday. All internal training is completed within each department, and training is specific to that unit. New employees should know who they report to, be given a tour of the campus, and feel welcome here at Florida Polytechnic University. Internal documentation can be found in the Workday Job Aids worklet on your Workday homepage. Thanks so much for viewing this management training series, and know that we are always here to assist your recruitments. You can contact us by sending an email to careers@floridapoly.edu.